Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gregory, aka Throwwolf. I'm here to talk about a YouTuber that I used to like, and that will be Electric Dragon 505, also known as AniMat. Before I get into details about him, I just want to give a quick history on how I was introduced to him. I got into him in the early 2010s with his review of Wreck-It Ralph. I thought he was cool and someone you want to talk about animation. But after the 2016 election, he was starting to become more of a SJW jerk. As in, he thinks he's better than anyone else after Trump got into the White House. Then after the 2020 riots, he started to show his true colors, especially his hatred for those who think differently. These are the top 10 reasons why I hate AniMat. Number 10, the Sony hate. This is at the bottom of the list. I'll make sure to make it short. I remember as he started out, he really had a hatred for Sony as he started out. I can understand what he was saying, but he was going way too far with saying those that work there should lose their jobs. I think he went too far with the Emoji Movie. And as I do recall, he said whoever likes the Emoji Movie is an idiot. For those who saw it and likes it, you are allowed to like it. I've seen it, and it was just, well, meh. Not terrible, but not good either. Number 9, a Disney simp. What can I say? He's got a love boner for Disney. Ever since the company has taken a new direction, he will defend it no matter what they do. He will defend someone like Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy for the stupid directions and stupid decisions, along with creative bankruptcy. He will defend creeps like Dana Terrence and Awkwafina. Also, if you're ever trying to point out what they're doing now, he'll just block you and try to harass you. Which brings us to the next one. Number 8, he hates his audience. From what people pointed out on their rant videos about AniMat, if you ever say anything different on a subject, he'll block you, whatever on social media he's on, well, except for YouTube. I remember on his Facebook page, I said, I don't think making Elsa into a lesbian is not a good idea. In his response, he claims I was being homophobic. I wasn't. I had a feeling that if they do that, the results would not be good. I tried to tell him that. He just blocked me after that. Last time he blocked me was on Twitter, now known as X, when I called him out for defending something, which is at number 1. Number 7, he thinks he's always right. So he thinks. What's horrible with this jerk? Okay, you know what? Scratch that. Retard. When it comes to animation, entertainment, and politics, he claims to be, oh, I'm always right. You're just being bigots. You're a Nazi. You stupid white supremacist. Which this guy is a hardcore libtard. Of course, me too, but when it comes to male victims like Johnny Depp, after he won the Amber shit-faced turd trial, he thinks women are always going to be oppressed, which is something like he'll never change his mind. Number 6, sympathy for horrible people. When it comes to whoever celebrities you like, it comes to what their personalities are. AniMat here will defend those who will do or say things that are really fucked up. Example, when he will defend the 2020 riots, or as he called it, a peaceful protest. Or whoever votes differently than him, saying that, oh, we gotta eliminate these people. Even if you ever heard something from Awkwafina saying, oh, female Trump supporters should be raped. Which, right there, it tells you that AniMat has no mind or soul of his own. Number 5, diversity for the sake of it. Before I get into details on this, diversity isn't a bad thing. But when you try to force it on everyone, yeah, I'm going to have a problem with that. Matt here is just doing it for the sake of it, in order to prove he's not racist or sexist. At this point, he thinks that race swap and gender swap is nothing more but token recognition and pandering. AniMat, just because you do race and gender swap of characters, it doesn't make you morally superior. It's just a hand-me-down of a character with a different paint job. Number 4, left-wing extremist. I'll try not to get too political. I'm what you call a center of the right, aka a South Park Republican. AniMat here is what you call a liberal douchebag. On his Twitter account, he will not stop talking about Trump, MAGA, white supremacy, and whoever on the right that he has a real hate boner for. But when his side does the hate and bigotry, that's totally okay. As Malcolm X pointed out, liberals are just more hypocritical and deceitful than the conservatives are. AniMat, do you know your side has more of a reputation of being the things you say you hate? Margaret Sanger, a white woman that made Planned Parenthood, who wants to use it to terminate people of all different races, as well as terminate those that are on the autism spectrum, as well as Down syndrome. Anthony put the black women in the back of line during the women's suffrage. Johnny Money, a white scientist that made the whole gender as a social construct, and he experimented on 2 boys. After that, the 2 boys committed suicide. As for movements, you know that Nazi is short for National Socialist, right? And the Bolshevik Revolution was a left-wing extremist group from Russia. As for the Democrats, they created things like the KKK and the Confederates, Jim Crow, and not allowing women to own property. Sure, people are right and not perfect, but at least they know what their values and are willing to listen. As well as creating the civil rights movement. Number 3, harassing people that are different. If I sound like a broken record on this, let me know. AniMat really does hate those that are really think differently, does he? Like how he harassed Sasquatch that created Five Nights at Freddy's and got harassed because of voting for Donald Trump. Matt Tard, Disney has also funded Trump during his election. Just because you don't like him doesn't mean you can harass someone that does. You're no different than the people you hate. Which brings us to the next one. Number 2, a hypocrite. This guy is a lot of work. When he's against one thing, he's actually for it. Guess what? Guess the woke mind virus is deep within him. As he boasts a lot of things like women empowerment, believe victims, or something like that, he'll stay quiet on what would change his views. The Funimation voice actors, the whole big Magnolia situation with Jamie Bitchy, Marka Retard, and Mars Girl. Well, Mars Girl, the whale, he will believe him. He will believe them. But when it comes to Damon Mills, a gay voice actor, does pedophilia, he stays quiet. Or when it comes to Trump getting, or when Trump gets accused of inappropriate sexual behaviors, he'll bitch about it. But when it comes to Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau, when they get accused of it, when they get accused of the same thing, he goes silent. He really doesn't believe what he says. Even when he says he's against sexualization of kids, but supports the whole kids transitioning at an early age, and that one scene from Across the Spider-Verse called Protect Trans Kids, which brings us to the biggest gripe with this asshole. Number 1, defends Netflix cuties. This is where I just couldn't deal with this jerk, asshole, retard, Canuck anymore. I know I posted a clip of him saying of him saying going against the cuties is a conspiracy theory. The first one on which it is when the day that when it was announced, I thought he was gonna bash this film, but then at first I thought he was gonna bash it and all that, but then all of a sudden he was coming out and saying, "Oh, it was just marketed all wrong. People just don't know what they're talking about." Or worse, is misunderstood, or worse, is misunderstood and all that. And people should watch it before judging it. Really? That's your retarded excuse? This is when I call him out on Twitter. When he bitched about the whole parental rights bill of Florida, or as libtards will call it, don't say gay bill. After I call him out for defending cuties on that post, he blocked me on the spot. The first time he defended something like this, when Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 white guys that attacked him. "Oh, I have sympathy for those peaceful protesters. They're good people." One was a domestic abuser, and the other one was a child rapist, and the other one was what you call a Marxist communist. Also, during the announcement of Ghostbusters Afterlife, wouldn't be surprised if he says those child actors should die. The movie Sound of Freedom, a movie on child sex trafficking, a right-wing propaganda. Dana Terrence, creator of the Owl House, wanted to have a character that's a 14-year-old girl. Let me start over. Dana Terrence, the one who created the Owl House, originally wanted to have a 14-year-old girl to have a sexual relationship with a 30-year-old woman. I'll put that in the link in the bio below. After this, I decided to cut ties with this douchebag, for he's nothing more but an empty shell that's desperately trying to get likes and finding ways to get laid. Thankfully, I'm not the only one that calls him out on this bullshit. For those that made rant videos on him to call him out, thank you. Thank you for spreading word about this asshole. And AniMat, if you ever come across this, and if you bitch by saying, "Oh, he's just incel, cis male, Nazi, MAGA, an idiot, white supremacist, that's an ableist." Sure, I'm right. I mean, sure, I'm white and heterosexual, and I'm also someone that's on the autism spectrum and also with ADHD. So someone on the spectrum is calling you out on this, but I guess I don't fit your narrative because I'm not autistic enough. Anyway, that's what I want to say about AniMat. To anyone that felt bullied by this jerk, don't let him get you down. Something tells me he's gonna lose subscribers every day. Have a nice day, and thank you for listening.